In a world completely wrecked by destruction, our guy Su Wu is just standing there, totally baffled. Like he's still processing the fact that it all started as some stupid game, and now, boom, apocalypse. No heroes left, no backup, nada. He's pretty much the last human standing. But is he giving up? Hell no. This dude's ready to risk it all for humanity. So, what does our brave hero do? He screams, loud, like the kind of scream that makes everyone in the room stop and stare. Then, plot twist, he realizes he's not in some epic showdown with gods or monsters. Nah, he's in class. Regular, boring-ass school. Su Wu just embarrassed himself in front of everyone. But here's the thing. He doesn't care. Not one bit. What's bugging him is why he's still alive. That's when the teacher, looking all smug, announces, 5 minutes till the university entrance exam starts. Su Wu freezes. Wait, what? Turns out he's been yeeted back in time. 10 years to be exact. While trying to piece it all together, Su Wu checks his pockets. And there it is. The ring. Not just any ring. This is the freaking Apocalypse Ring. The key to the game that destroyed the world. Now enter the teacher, Mr. Chin, who's clearly had enough of Su Wu ignoring him. He starts barking at him, but does Su Wu care? Nope. He claps back hard, telling Chin he's the worst excuse for a teacher. Why? Because in the future, brace yourselves, Qin betrays the students in the apocalypse. Of course, Chin's just standing there, completely confused because none of this has happened yet. Su Wu doesn't have time for this nonsense. He grabs his stuff and dips. The class. Oh, they're losing it. The dude just roasted the teacher in front of everyone. Walking home, Su Wu's mind starts racing. He remembers how people got stupid rich playing Apocalypse. But, yeah, they also died. A lot. Nobody expected the game would be the world's undoing, and when humanity finally tried to fight back, it was, let's just say, not great. Facing gods is not something you can win with teamwork and good vibes. But now, Su Wu has a second chance. And this time, he's not gonna waste it. When he gets home, there's a note from his mom. She's off somewhere, leaving Su Wu to hold down the fort. Perfect. This is his moment. He's got the ring, he's got the plan, and he's not about to let humanity go down again. So, what does he do? He activates the ring. And let me tell you, it freaking works. In an instant, he's thrown right back into the world of Apocalypse, ready to face whatever crazy stuff this game throws at him. Our dude Su Wu just dropped into the game, and a freaking deity pops up, welcoming him like he's some kind of VIP. First order of business? Pick a class. Easy, right? Nah. Su Wu thinks, let's try something new this time around. But nope. The game's like, sorry buddy, rules are rules. Back to your old setup. And, oh, to make it worse, all his stats got reset. Brutal. Naturally, Su Wu dives into his inventory, hoping for a little something. Something to save the day. Guess what? It's emptier than his love life. But then, hold up. There's this random item sitting there. The bone of the god of death. Sounds epic, right? Nah, it's got no stats, no description, literally nothing. It's just there. Useless. Before he can even figure out what to do with it, the game sucks him into the noob village, where he gets some bonus starter stats for being the first player. Sweet deal. But hey, it's grind time. So Su Wu goes to farm mobs, starting with the classic wild boars, except, plot twist, his mage attacks hit like wet noodles. While he's busy running for his life, he stumbles on a girl in big trouble. Enter Xiaohua, who's about to get flattened by the freaking Boar King. A mission pops up. Save the damsel in distress. Sounds heroic, right? Yeah. No. He straight up slaps her. Yup. A full-on WWE-style smack. Xiaohua's like, what the fuck, dude? Then Su Wu drops the bomb. I know what you are. Turns out he's not buying her helpless act, because in his past life, he's seen it all. This girl's a freaking demon. She reveals her true form, and now, it's game on. She's OP as hell, taking down the Boar King in one hit, and Su Wu's thinking, well, guess it's my turn to die now. But then he notices something. Her power is tied to the forest's demon energy. Since they've wandered too far, she's basically running on empty. Suwoo's like, guess who's got the upper hand now? He goes full send with his strongest spell. Boom! Xiaohua's toast. With her defeated, Suwoo levels up to 2, grabs a ton of gold, and loots every last thing off her. Because hey, priorities. Suddenly that creepy death god's handbone? Yeah, it levels up too. Suwoo's like, what the heck is this thing? Never saw it in my past life. But of course, it's not going to be that easy. It needs a ton of random materials to activate. So guess what? Time to grind. Again. Out of nowhere, Xiaohua pops back up, but she's all like, hey, sorry about earlier. I was cursed by some evil magic or whatever. Suwoo's skeptical, and hey, as a reward for not completely ditching her, he gets a shiny new staff. Sweet deal, right? Oh, and he also gets a new quest. Escort her to some village nearby, but here's the thing, he's got to carry her there. Yep, full-on princess style. And let's just say, Xiaohua's Jigglypuffs keep bumping into him the whole way. They finally reach the village, and guess who's waiting? Xiaohua's grandpa. This guy's ancient, but hands out another quest because, of course, Suwoo can't catch a break. He's like, sure, old man, I'll deal with that later. For now, our boy heads to the potion shop to gear up. And the potion seller? Oh boy. She's gorgeous, think tall, legs for days, and rocking that mysterious hot NPC vibe. Suwoo's barely keeping his jaw off the floor as he buys out half her stock. Once he's stocked up, it's back to the grind. Using every trick from his past life, Suwoo levels up his gear and farms everything in sight. And since he's the only player here right now, the future rewards? Absolute goldmine. He's already thinking about flexing when the other players show up. A few hours later, the server finally opens, and Suwoo is ready. He's chilling at the newbie hub, selling all the rare stuff he farmed. Gotta hustle, right? To keep things low-key, he hides his level. Smart move, honestly. Most of the new players, they're side-eyeing him hard. Who starts the game just to sell random junk? But then, she shows up. One look, and Suwoo knows exactly who she is. One of the future top 10 sorceresses in the entire game. And yeah, she's drop-dead gorgeous. She's browsing his wares, but everything's too expensive. Classic. Suwoo, being the opportunist he is, offers her a deal. 20% off, if she lets him touch her legs. Yeah, he really went there. She immediately calls him a creep. Fair. And Suwoo's left standing there looking like a total idiot. Before things get any more awkward, some dude barges in. A guy Suwoo knows all too well. It's God War, the future leader of the Madman Guild. Total scumbag. Back in Suwoo's past life, this guy was notorious for stealing bosses, PKing anyone in sight, and, oh yeah, completely ruining Suwoo's gear. Let's just say, seeing this guy again, not exactly a happy reunion. So Suwoo's out here hustling, selling these god-tier items like he's running the black market of the century. And then boom, Warner and War God show up, sniffing around, clearly dying to snag the best loot. Warner knows how this game works. If you want to move forward, you gotta cough up the gold, no matter how ridiculous the prices are. Suwoo, being the sly little devil he is, reminds her about a special deal he mentioned earlier, hinting she might want to take it now. Here's the kicker. Suwoo legit tosses War God aside like yesterday's trash and decides to sell everything to Warner. War God? Oh, he's fuming. Dude's practically melting his keyboard as he swears he'll annihilate Suwoo the next time they meet on the battlefield. But wait, it gets spicier. Time for Suwoo's reward. And yeah, it's exactly what you're thinking. Or maybe not. Warner literally gives him the green light to touch her legs. Does Suwoo go for it? Nah, not today, Satan. He holds back, saying, yeah, I'ma cash in this favor later. Smart move, man. Why give War God any advantage when you've got the upper hand? After flexing his moral high ground, Suwoo heads off to finish some old dude's quest. He levels up so hard, it's like the game's breaking its own rules for him. He's out here stacking buffs, uncovering secret missions and leaving every other player in the dust. Dude's living the dream. Now, cut to the demonic energy swamp, which, let's be real, sounds like the last place you'd want to hang out. The place is cursed or something, and anyone who steps in loses health every 5 seconds, but Su-woo? Nah, he's built different. While strolling through this hellhole, he hears some adventurers screaming for help. They're getting absolutely wrecked by demon mummies. Su-woo, being the big brain player he is, cooks up a plan. He uses his fire powers to lure the mummies into a trap, then bolts to a spot in the forest where he's got all the advantages. With the speed buffs he picked up earlier, it's honestly a cakewalk. Dude's treating this like it's a tutorial mission. And then, out of nowhere, the server drops a massive announcement. New special mission activated. Apparently, the task is to hunt down 100 players who've been harassing the town's apothecary. The reward? Only the first person to finish gets it. No pressure, right? Su-woo's like, cool, let me just wipe out these mummies real quick. He uses his ultimate attack to nuke them all. Easy. But plot twist. Turns out one of those creeps harassing the apothecary accidentally wandered into Su-woo's attack zone. So yeah, free kill. Meanwhile, the game's global chat is blowing up. Players are whining about how hard the mission is, and Su-woo's just sitting there, unbothered, racking up wins. Meanwhile, War God and his guild think they're hot stuff. They roll up to the swamp like, we've got this. Spoiler, they don't. Not even close. Within seconds, fireballs start raining from the sky like some apocalyptic nightmare. Su-woo, he's just chilling, watching these guys drop like flies. 1 fireball, 2 fireballs. Bam, the guild's wiped out. GG, no re. The scoreboard's climbing like crazy for our boy Su-woo, and honestly, the dude was just trying to hunt some monsters. But now, he's accidentally farming other players too, and oh yeah, picked up a new magic skill along the way. Casual, right? Meanwhile, this player Yumu is stuck in a party with some seriously shallow losers. She's only hanging around because she's hunting for someone in the game, but she's done babysitting these clowns. She's about to dip and go solo, but the party leader's like, nope, not happening. Turns out he's plotting to make some mega powerful guild and wants to strong-arm Yumu into joining. Back to War God, this dude is losing it. He's sick of Su-woo trashing his crew and straight up calls him out to settle things once and for all. Just as things get heated, Wana rolls up and basically says, chill with the testosterone, morons. She reminds War God that the Tinkshui Guild has Su-woo's back 100%, so if War God wants a fight, he's gonna have to go through them first. But Su-woo's like, nah, I got this, and saunters out of the forest like an absolute legend. He starts flexing every buff he's got, and everyone's jaw hits the floor because his level? Yeah, it's way higher than anyone else's. War God's sweating bullets but tries to hide it, barking orders and hoping his squad's numbers give him an edge. Then Su-woo, in true main character energy, shuts them all down. I'm only here because the quest told me to take out 100 pervs who were harassing the apothecary. Congrats, you clowns made the list. War God's crew looks like absolute fools, and he's too mad to care anymore. He just wants to throw hands already. Wanner's ready to back Su-woo up, but he waves her off. Nah, don't need backup. I'm going full combat mode. He powers up his staff and unleashes a barrage of fire attacks like it's nothing. His enemies try to keep up, but he's moving so fast they can't even touch him. Then comes the big move. Su-woo positions himself perfectly and activates his new ability, freezing everyone in place. They can't heal, can't move, can't do squat. He's got them all locked down, and just to rub salt in the wound, he follows it up with his most powerful attack. It's game over. They're frozen stiff, eating fireballs, and their potions? Useless. War God, though, refuses to let it end like this. He demands a one-on-one fight, hoping for some redemption. But Su-woo's not even breaking a sweat. He zips around War God like it's a game of tag, totally humiliating him. At one point, War God thinks he's got the upper hand. Spoiler, he doesn't. One more hit, and War God's down for the count, swearing vengeance through gritted teeth. And just like that, Su-woo claims victory. The crowd goes wild, chanting his name, and even Wanner's like, what the hell did I just witness? Not only has Su-woo crushed the Madman Guild, But he's also wrapped up his 100 kills for the special quest. Word spreads across the server, and now everyone's buzzing about this guy. Before Wanner can even catch her breath, Suwoo casually reminds her, "Hey, about those trades I mentioned." She's confused until she realizes this dude's been farming again. Not just farming, he's got high-quality loot and a super rare skill book. But here's the catch. He'll only sell it to her if she lets him touch her legs 10 times whenever he wants. Wanner doesn't even argue. She knows there's no point. Begrudgingly, she accepts his ridiculous deal. And just like that, Suwoo strikes again. But just before splitting up, Suwoo drops a major tip to Wanner. There's a sweet spot in the forest where you can farm monsters for tons of experience. He casually suggests she head over there and grind a bit. Naturally, she's suspicious. Dude's being way too helpful for no reason. Suwoo, realizing she's not buying it, comes clean. He's trying to form a group for a secret mission and needs backup. Wanner, intrigued, but Loki still doubting him, notices how confident he seems. That energy's contagious, so she decides to roll with him. First priority? Unlock the game's first dungeon. To do that, they need to wipe out a bunch of enemies. Instead of doing the dirty work himself, Suwoo straight up orders War God to handle it. Oh, and just for fun, he sends a global message to everyone on the server, telling them to help out or face his wrath. Suwoo's not just flexing, he's got Wanner's guild backing him, so no one really has a choice but to obey. After hours of grinding, something wild happens. A secret mission pops up. In 30 minutes, everyone has to survive the wrath of the tree god. If they pull it off, there's a mysterious reward. If they fail, they lose a whopping 100,000 XP. The entire server starts freaking out because nobody saw this coming, and most of them are way under-leveled for this kind of chaos. Suwoo, on the other hand, couldn't care less. He's like, whatever, I'm hungry. His calm vibes somehow convince everyone he's got some genius plan up his sleeve. Cut to Suwoo demolishing some burgers, minding his own business, when Jung Jiu, one of the hottest girls at school, walks up. Turns out she was in the game too, and she's been keeping tabs on him. She invites him to hang out with her crew, but Suwoo? Nah, he's not about that life. He figures someone like her is way out of his league anyway, so he politely declines and heads home to dive back into the game. Jiu's left wondering why he's so cold, but Suwoo knows better. His past life memories remind him to steer clear of her. 30 minutes fly by, and it's go time. Suwoo returns just in time for the secret mission, and suddenly, everything starts shaking. He instantly knows something's off. This wasn't how things went in his previous life. Turns out the game admins are messing with the players, cranking the difficulty way up to test them. The battle kicks off, and even the NPCs jump in to help. Players throw everything they've got at the Tree God's army, but it's hopeless. They get wiped over and over, rage-quitting left and right, cursing Suwoo for dragging them into this nightmare. Other servers start tuning in to watch the carnage, calling it an outright massacre. Even the admins are like, yo, this might be too much. Just when all hope seems lost, fireballs start raining from the sky, followed by a massive wave of ice that wipes out the enemies in one swoop. It's Suwoo's master plan. He'd been baiting the enemies to gather in one spot for a massive counterattack. And just like that, the tide turns. Everyone in the game is hyped as hell right now. Not only are they following the most badass protagonist ever, but it's go time for the team to make their next move. Just as the battle heats up, Wanner logs in to back them up, and suddenly, the squad's pulling off synchronized attacks like it's some Avengers-level coordination. Suwoo's calling the shots, and they're making serious progress. The game admins? They're practically losing their minds. They drop the highest level mission in the game out of nowhere. And the kicker? A thunderous roar echoes from the forest. Enter the Demon's Sacred Tree. A boss so OP it could wipe half the team with a flick of its evil branches. Wanner tries to dodge the massive attack, but nope, she's not fast enough. Alright, that's a wrap for today's chapter. Check the channel or right here in the middle of the screen to see if I've uploaded the next part. Catch you in the next Manhwa recap. Bye bye.